KZ end up with a -5 in a minute?
Hard 30 tonight.
First of all, I don't believe in numbers.
Don't get fooled.
Grab a drink, because this is Hangover Time. No, you're muted, G. Man.
Great job. Fucking fantastic.
What a start.
Yes.
What a
Wow.
Woo! Yes.
Let's run it from the top again.
Welcome
Kidding.
to our annual Pride Show. I'm your host, Giancarlo Navas. This is Hangover Time.
You muted yourself again.
Yeah.
I did it.
Idiot.
Oh,
You're doing that.
I'm not.
I didn't touch anything. I'm not touching my mouse.
G never
I'm
touches
still
anything.
muted. Take me out, Brass.
Oh, my
I don't know
God.
what's going
Oh
on.
my goodness.
We're having wonderful technical difficulties. It might be because I have 7 windows open running different cameras, but we're making the most of it. I'm your host, Giancarlo Navas, and this is our annual Pride Show. We do this every year. We've raised over $12,000 for Pride the last few seasons, and that's because of people like you, the listeners, everybody on this panel, Alf, Brass, all our amazing guests and donors. We have so much to get to today. Before I introduce the panel and before we talk about what everyone's drinking tonight and their number one reason for Damian Lillard coming to the Heat, Brass, I want to talk about the organization that we're supporting today. We're supporting TransSocial, and it's an organization that I've worked with when I was in college. I did charity work for them. They are focused on helping the local community, and I want to know where your donation dollars are coming tonight. If you put !Pride in the chat, a link will pop up and you'll be able to donate and you'll be entered to win prizes. But TransSocial is about expanding safe and affirming resources for the trans community here in South Florida. They provide name and gender change maker assistance, affirming medical and mental health referrals, peer support groups, and events to combat isolation and to build trans awareness and visibility in our community. More specifically, with everything that's going on now in Florida, TransSocial has, in response to anti-trans laws that are happening, they've expanded emergency relief programs to include help affirming trans folks travel in and out of state to get gender affirming care. That includes air and ground transportation, including medical visits, costs, and prescription copay assistance for low-income clients that can no longer access care here in Florida. So your dollars are going to help our most vulnerable group here, and it's all local. And this is an organization that I've worked with in college. And listen, Brass, let's pull up what everyone's going to be entered to win tonight. Let's start with we'll start with the highest bids, and then we'll go down. We have a special, okay. And we'll go high to low. We're starting off strong right now. So these are by donation tier. So if you donate this much money, you're entered to win this raffle. Brass, you have the first slide ready?
Ooh.
So if you donate $120 or more, you're entered the raffle to win a Jimmy Butler, Casey Anthony jersey, a Versace cologne, which that is really good stuff.
Yeah.
And you also get a bonus $50 Miami Heat gift card. So that if you donate $120 or more, you're entered to win this prize. Brass, what we got for the next one? It's a really nice jersey. That's a one of a kind. If you own $100 or more, you get this Money Mouth hoodie, and you get these sunglasses, and the sunglasses are actually like a $300 value, guys. So you're actually getting like bang for your buck here. So make sure that this is $100 or more.
Drip drop.
Next one here.
Next one. Yeah, next one. So 75 or more, you are entered to win a Gucci Guilty cologne, also a Miami Heat mashup hoodie. So that's hype as hell. Brass, what do we got for the next one? So these are all the tiers that you're going to be entered to win with this amount of money that you donate.
Savage is
got-
her.
40 or more, you got Savage Dior, and you got a Miami Heat mashup tee. What do we got next, Brass?
Ooh, Ariana Grande. I hear she smells
We got the
amazing.
Ariana Grande perfume, and also we have a Court Culture floral heat print. So that one's actually really nice. I've seen that one in person. I think we have 2 more tiers here. And then the last one, if you donate 15 or more, you get the Jimmy Butler and Michael Jordan Funko Pops. So you get a little.
That's something G wants.
If you missed the Father's Day deal, then you can get it now.
There you go.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, so remember, !donate on our Twitch chat. If you're watching on 5 Reasons, click the description of this video and you'll have a link to the donation. So we'll do this live on the show around 9:05 p.m. We'll announce the winners and we'll talk that. But Brass, this is hangover time, man. Let's find out what everyone's drinking.
All right.
So the final hangover time. This is the last time that we're all doing this together. And
It's the last time we're letting you host, that's for sure.
they're around these parts.
Man, your computer. Shit. Here we go again.
Dude, my computer system. They're struggling.
That
like the Heat
computer,
offense.
you. Let's just go around. Let's find out what
I
everyone's
think it's the
drinking.
buttons, honestly. Too many buttons undone.
just so many buttons. Listen, on this wonderful day. So we're gonna say what we're drinking tonight, and the number one reason why we want Damian Lillard on the Heat, because again, we're a basketball show, right? We're talking. We got stuff going on. I made a little special. I made a bergamot gin prosecco spritz, a little bit of rosemary going on, kind of celebratory. I got the Italicus going on out there. And listen, I need Damian Lillard to come to the Heat because I'm sick of people complaining. I'm sick of people calling the organization cheap. I'm sick of people being mean to Pat Riley and Mickey Arison. And I just want this to end. I'm sick of Dame rumors. I don't even care if they're good. I just want it to end. I'm just sick of it, bro. Like, why are we calling Mickey cheap? I thought that you guys said that we're never going to adopt this team again. It just took you 5 minutes and you started doubting them again. It took one Barry Jackson report about waving and stretching Kyle Lowry, which I'm going to talk to you later about that, Barry, because I'm not really happy about that. But God damn it! God. Listen, this is a pride show. We're supposed to be happy. So we're zen today. Take me out.
That's amazing.
Amazing. We'll start with Moose on my left. What are you drinking tonight, and who is your number one reason for getting Dame Lillard?
Well, hello everyone. I'm very happy to be here for a beautiful.
How do we go to Moose?
Yeah, I don't even know why we went.
Take him
going left
back
to
out.
right.
Take him out. Take him
I was
out.
going left to right.
Listen,
Take him out.
Cool.
That's,
Whew.
We read left to right.
This is great.
you gonna get red if you keep doing that.
Tiff, what are you drinking tonight?
Night.
And Junior.
Yes, thank you,
Tiff, what are you
you.
drinking
Because
tonight?
of Brass turned me on to Forge Gin, so I am
Forge Gin's good.
sipping. I'm sipping on some Forge Gin with some freshly squeezed lime and lemon, and I'm just having myself a day. That's it.
All right.
Oh, why do I want Dame to be on the Heat? Yeah, I mean, they got to get somebody.
That's
Right, love the
I mean,
enthusiasm.
can't disagree with that.
You can't argue with that logic.
No, you can't.
Moose, Bond. What are you drinking tonight?
Jeez.
What are you drinking, and what's your number one
G's
reason for
passing
getting
that
Damian Lillard?
shit in the air. That's one of them.
G out here throwing those Kyle lobs.
With 2
This is how
seconds
G
on the
reads the
shot clock.
alphabet. Just
Tiff,
like
Tiff really,
That's exactly how it
Tiff
is.
really rattled me.
This is how he spells charity. Siobhan, what are you drinking
What
tonight?
am I drinking? This is some Malibu and some Di Serono and some ginger ale and a basketball sphere of an ice cube.
Ooh.
Fancy.
My reasons why I want Dame. I mean, like, she's cute. She's very cute.
She
And
okay.
I just, she's okay. But I feel like
She's okay.
I want her to want me. I don't want to talk about why I want her. Why does she want me? I'm the prize. You see that? You are the prize, Miami. You are the like. I don't know. She's cute, and I think we would make a good couple. But like, we don't have to sit around and wait for her. But if that's where we're set, then that's where we're set, I guess. But I understand that she would be great for us. Yeah. But
she's giving Margot Robbie vibes right now.
It's like Nelly, Kelly Rowland, the dilemma. Like neither of them want to leave.
Oh my God!
So she's writing a text message on Excel.
Knight and
texting on Excel. Like
neither one of us want to be the first to say goodbye. Like, girl,
damn.
This is bad for the children. Like, damn, this divorce would be better for everybody. No, divorce. The children will be better off.
Yes. Scoot needs you guys away.
Let's read this Molnick in chat saying G is less efficient than Cody Zeller in Game 5. He's absolutely correct.
No.
Yeah, Moose.
Cody Zeller.
Fight
Moose,
back.
Fight back.
Come on, you can't take that.
Fight
Moose,
back.
What are you drinking?
Well, of course, for the final hangover time, I had to hit him how I'm dying with the monkey shoulder, and it's the last bit of monkey shoulder. So let's enjoy this together. And why do I want Damian Lillard? Look, because he's Damian fucking Lillard. Let's be honest. He's going to make our team a hell of a lot better. And there's really not that much else that we can do in free agency where hands are kind of tied. Damian Lillard is the big swing. So I'm here for it. I'm going to hit him one time for game time. Drip drop. Take me out.
Woo! It's monkey elbow. How much you got in that cup?
It's monkey fingertip.
That's what I'm saying. What's the rest of it?
Monkey pinky nail.
It was a busy draft week. Draft beat. We were busy last week. We were busy.
Oh, thank God G took himself out.
He took himself
so much
out.
better already.
Frankie, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking a pina colada beer. Look at the colors. Shout out.
Oh,
okay.
And reason I want Dame here.
Solana territory, but
hey, chill. Not that far. Reason I want Dame here is so Barry Jackson can put his phone down because Jesus Christ,
that poor guy.
He is putting Twitter on a panic every other tweet, and I just need my guy Barry to just relax, just put the phone down, like relax a little bit, let Dame be here so nobody can, so Chef Trilly can fucking relax too, like. These guys are on a 50 burner every fucking day. The interactions, it's crazy. Elon's internet does not deserve this.
Can't support it.
It really can't. It's going to be like the submarine soon.
Oh, too soon.
Wow. Jeez. took a turn. My drink tonight, I made just a classic. I've had it many times before. I made an El Dorado punch, something with just a whole bunch of ingredients: brandy, Jamaican rum. We have lemon juice, simple syrup. We have bourbon and some fresh fruit in it, and it is delicious. And why do I want Dame here? I mean, listen, he's really good. Also, it was really nice and heartwarming to see for a very small stretch during these Heat playoffs, this deep Heat playoff run, where Heat Twitter felt somewhat unified. It would be nice to get back there. Although I am certain that even if we get Dame, there's still going to be people bitching about it. So it doesn't really matter. We're like, Heat Twitter is in such disarray that Dame is like, it's like, well, listen, our marriage is a mess, but let's have a baby. And it's still not going to fix anything. But at least we would have a really unbelievable big three on this team. So yeah, that's why I'd like that to happen.
Okay.
All right, Nikias, what you doing?
Well, I did not bring the alcohol. I was woefully unprepared. I had some lemonade.
You know better. You know what we're doing around here.
Nikias was on our very first Hangover Time, by the way. I just want to point that out.
Where
Where's
I was like, oh right, this is the Hangover Time stream.
Where's the apple juice? At least.
I gotta go to the store tomorrow. But I had some lemonade earlier. That's what we had.
We'll wait.
As far as the Dame thing, it would be cool if Bam could play with a guard that could knock down pull-ups and also get to the rim. That's cool. It feels like he's only had one or the other throughout his entire career. So, Damian Lillard would be a nice choice for that. Also, I would like for the Damian Lillard stuff to end. So if it ends in a trade,
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just
Let
go.
it end.
2 more weeks.
Nikai, sometimes
Be
when it's
done.
Kyle Lowry, he either can go to the rim or pull up, never both.
Now why is she in it?
Kyle is sitting at home like, now what do I have to do with
Now
this?
why am I in this?
This poor,
Justice Winslow erasure, unbelievable.
absolutely.
Oh, if we can get Justice back in the deal. Oof.
Listen, I saw people saying like that they'll celebrate a J Rich signing.
Who?
You know,
Who?
that the fans, the he fans.
I was all
right, girl, bye.
We're at that phase.
We thrifted, baby. This is
You
this
are
offseason,
the
we thrifted.
prize. Why are we settling for? You know what? Never mind.
Before
Why am I counting coupons?
Before we
Supposed
welcome
to be abundant.
our first guest, Brass, if you could take me in real quick before we go to our first guest, I do want to kind of give a shout out to look at the donations.
Nice. Let's go, people. Let's
That's
go.
already $370.
All right.
We're at almost a quarter of our goal.
Let's go.
Remember, we have a lot of donations to go, and again, your money's going to a great cause. So please make sure to donate. Exclamation point Pride in chat to get the donation link. But we're welcoming our first guest here.
We're welcoming a black screen. Oh my God! Is this the final? This is it. Your
Oh,
camera
no,
finally gave up.
This is it. This is it.
This is
On the
this is
last
end.
one?
This is it.
Are you kidding me?
This is the end.
Drip drop says,
Well,
can
I
we-
can't believe this happened.
Can we bring in Will Manso to save me because nothing's working today?
Holy cow!
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
This is
Oh
great.
my.
There we go.
Okay.
I like it better than
that was
before.
better. Yeah, it was better the other
Me
way.
too.
Yeah, let's bring in our guest.
What did I get myself
Hey,
into?
hey, well,
What did I get myself into?
Well,
Really
listen, it's been we're raising money, and at the end of the day, we can joke about all my equipment failing, but at the end of the day, as long as we raise money for this great cause, we can laugh at me as much as we want.
It's two causes. It's the cause of the night, which obviously we're going to raise money for, and it's a GoFundMe for your equipment. We need as much as we can.
Yes.
I put the first 20 in. I got the first 20 in for the
Thank
equipment.
you. Yeah, I got a new camera cable, new computer, I knew all sorts of stuff. But Will, thank you for joining us on this day. Again, we're raising money for TransSocial, and again they're helping the local trans community here in South Florida. They do everything from helping people get name changes and name assistance to flying people out of the state, given what's going on. The current situation here in Florida, and they're flying people out to get safe medical treatment and anything that they might need. So your dollars are going to a good place, and the more you donate, the more you're entered to win prizes. Well, obviously, the talk of the we're gonna talk about pride, but we got to ask you about Dame Lillard, man. I mean, this is this has been the talk of the town. That's all that matters.
I mean, that's all anybody's talking about. It's driving me crazy because I'm like all you guys. I'm the same way where it's like something's got to happen at some point. Now today, obviously, we learned this. We got to be patient. It's going to take a while. I'm all down for Damian Lillard potentially being on the Heat. Who wouldn't be? But at the same time, I'm not holding my breath. I don't know how about you guys feel, but I just don't know. When you put it in the hands of someone else and he's got so many things to figure out, on top of that, you got to put together a package, and will Portland accept it? There's so many elements to this that I'm just going to sit back and watch and see what happens. I think the hard part for Heat fans is they feel like they're missing out. My question to everybody here at the Heat fans is like, what are you missing out on? The Heat don't have money for free agents. It's not like they're going to go out there and spend big money. So they're not really passing on anything. They just got to the finals. They like their nucleus. If anything, they bring back, Gabe or Max if they can figure it out. But they have the ability to be patient and kind of wait it out.
I think that's the one. I mean, like they're gonna want to bring back Gabe or Max or both. Although Max, I hear, is Zach Lowe reported today that Max might fetch the full MLE, or full MLE teams are scared that cap space teams are going to be able to outbid them. I've heard Cleveland is aggressive in pursuing Strus and all that, but like you're right that they don't have cap space, or they don't have an ability to get guys with the separate second apron and all this tax rules. But have you noticed like the fan base is in a panic for a team that just made the finals? I don't think I've ever, listen, you've covered a lot of sports in your life. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this.
it's a love-hate relationship. That's, I guess, is the perfectness of you guys' podcast and what you guys do, because there's like you love the team and then you hate the team, and like fans can't figure it out for some reason. But like if you just take a step back, this team just went to the finals, and I know people are going to talk about the storylines of how they did it. Yeah, they didn't have big stars and a lot of undrafted players, but they somehow pulled it off. They've got enough to get there. I think we have to at some point just start trusting that they know what they're doing as an organization. Are they perfect? No. Do they screw up now and then? Of course. But I think they have an idea, a plan going in. Fans just get so wild. Like, let's just say they don't get Dame, right? Which at this point, it almost seems more likely that they do, right? I mean, is that the end of the world? Is that it? I mean, to me, I do, because until I hear Damian Lillard say, I want to leave Portland, I can't feel comfortable. Like, he can wake up at any moment and say, I've got a great life. I love it here. I make good money. This town loves me. Let me stay. The grass isn't always greener, that kind of stuff. So until I hear him say that, I don't have confidence he wants to go anywhere.
Can I ask a question?
Oh, no, go ahead,
Bon. Go ahead.
No, you
so
go.
I understand that like we are without cap space to go out and buy people, but I don't know who maybe had player options and have opted out, but is there, so yeah, you can't just go outright buy people, but could you have had agreements kind of in place with people like, hey, pick up your player option, we're looking to move this way? Yes or no? Just, is that factually like a thing that could have been happening? I'm not, like, I don't know, we need to get Goins in here, but I understand the idea that we don't have, just kind of free money laying around, but could we have been in some type of verbal communication with, hey, go ahead and pick up your player option, we're going to And again, not that it would have been great options or whatever, but just a counter to them not having free money.
I will say, look, to answer your question, I will say this. You mentioned Goins, and got people that know the cap and know the rules, and with the new CBA and all these new things that are happening, I'm not an expert at that. I always say leave it to Andy. He figures it out. Adam Simon's the personnel guy. Andy's the cap guy. I will say this, though. They have a plan for everything. Like, I asked Pat about that during his press conference, and he was saying that they get in a room and all the minds, and it's Pat, it's Spo, it's Adam Simon, it's Andy Ellisberg, it's Alonzo Mourning, it's Nick Harrison, and they game plan for every scenario. So what the situations we can talk about all day here, they have gone over 10 times plus every angle of everything. Every Barry Jackson tweet, trust me, they've thought about it 1,000 times. They don't need tweets to figure it out. Like, they know what they're doing. The question is, how do they want to handle it from a tax perspective? I think the first thing, guys, is the most important thing before Dame is, do they want to keep Gabe or Max? I know they'd love to keep both. It's unlikely. I think Gabe, in my opinion, is the priority, being the position of need and a point guard. I think they like what he offers, and I think he could fall more into that 10, 12 million range. I really do. I think that's going to be Gabe's range, where I think Max, I mean, I've heard Max could cap out at somewhere $15 million. That's a lot of money for a shooter that I think deserves it and has earned it. But do you want to go in that direction, given you've got Duncan at 18 and guys that you hope to develop,
Can I just ask real quickly, because from everything that we're hearing from both sides, like, yes, I understand that the waiting game is anxious, and especially for fans, it can be incredibly annoying, but sounds like the Heat's hands are somewhat tied already. The longer this thing drags out, I actually feel it benefits the Heat, because I don't think that necessarily Dame is in a position right now. Like, Dame wants to see the Blazers do something that can actually put them in contention. The Blazers are also kind of hands tied. They don't have that much that they could do either. So the longer this drags out and the more stagnant that the Blazers, play out free agency, I think that's also going to drive Dame to be like, all right, Dame time, it's also trade time now. Like, I gave you guys the 2 weeks. I gave you the 3 weeks of free agency. Nothing's happened. So, yes, the waiting game is annoying, but doesn't that also feel like it could benefit us?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you guys think. I look at it this way. The Heat, probably more so than any team in the NBA, has the time to be patient, because they believe in their culture and their system. And some people think it's BS or it's not true, but they buy into it. They just made the finals. What do they care? They can take anything, and they can Hayward Highsmith and Jamal Cain in the rotation next year, and feel they got a chance to compete. That's just the way they are.
They're wired that way. They just proved it to you. They just proved the way that they did it just now. So, Will, I gotta thank you for your time. I gotta thank you so much for joining us, especially on such an important day. Thank you for entertaining our nonsense and our bad equipment.
Can I put $25? Look, can you put me down?
Put it on your tab. I'll put it on your tab, Will. And Will, you're lucky that we're running a little
guys,
over.
Get me down $100. $100 $100 put me down for the cause and put me $20 for your equipment.
Oh,
Write that down, Brad.
Thank you.
Write that down.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
that.
Thank you.
Will.
Thank you,
Will,
Will.
so much.
All right, Will.
Exclamation point, donate in chat. Will Manso, thank you so much, by the
Still
way.
got to pay up on that karaoke.
You're
bet.
getting off a
We're
little
running-
easy. You owe us a Bootylicious.
Hey, what about Bootylicious? What
Oh,
You got
Oh,
I think
Bootylicious?
we got it. I think we got
We'll
it.
make
All right,
time.
all
We-
right.
We have our next guest
I had
waiting,
it
but
ready.
we got bring them
Let's
in.
go.
Bros.
Let's
Bring 'em
go.
in.
Let's go, Will.
I'll do one line.
Okay.
Kelly, can you handle this? Michelle, can you handle this?
Oh my God.
Beyonce, can you handle this? I don't think they can handle this. Barely move, we've arrived. Looking
Go,
sexy,
Will.
looking fly. Baddest chick inside. DJ Jam tonight. Spotted me, a tender thing. There you are. Come on, baby.
We're gonna
Don't you
get this
wanna
in, mate.
dance with me? Can you handle me? You'll expect her if you're gonna dance with me tonight. You gotta look your jelly if you wanna dance with me tonight. Read my lips carefully if you like what you see. Move, groove, prove you can hang with me. By the looks, I got you shook and scared of me. Hook on your seatbelt, it's time for takeoff. I don't think you're ready for this jelly. I don't think you're ready for this jelly. I don't think you're ready because my body's too bootylicious for you, babe. That's all I got.
Oh my God, I'm afraid I might stay in Portland now.
Oh.
Alf, you have a review of that? Do you have a
You
review?
have a review for Will
I came
Manso.
just in time. That was beautiful.
I promise you I do it. Thank
It
you.
was better than the original. It was better than the original.
Thank you, Will.
Love you, Will.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Bye, guys. Be good.
Before I hand off the baton to Alphonse, Sidney, the host
God,
of Hangover
thank
Time,
God.
I want to give a quick update. We're at $490 raised
Keep going.
for Pride.
Woo, let's keep going.
Keep it up. Plus Will's 100, so we're
Yes.
practically at $600. So let's
Still
keep it
listening.
going.
Keep going.
I want to also thank Nikias Duncan for Nikias is a professional out here making time for our nonsense. Nikias, thank you so much for coming on
Our
with us.
second guest of the night,
Our
apparently.
second Nikias is family.
No, see, Will is the real guest, you know.
You're family, dude. The key's under the mat. You know you can come in whenever you want.
I appreciate y'all for having me, man.
Love you, my
I
brother.
missed the
Thank you.
Nikias segment. He's leaving.
Yeah.
He ain't said nothing yet.
I was gonna say I missed the Nikias segment. What happened?
Well, we have our next interview. Alf, you got here. We have our next interview on deck.
That's right, but it's a one-on-one here. So let's go to our next segment. We're gonna bring in a very, very special guest here.
Hey, Izzy.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. It's good to see just you.
It's just me. Everybody else is in the scenes. It's just me and you. Just me and you. So first, I just got to say I am over the moon to have you. No, internet boyfriend. Every time my wife's watching, so she's like, "Who's this?" But it's funny. I'm very happy to have you on for Pride Month. And it's ironically during this month, I always think like this joke that Wanda Sykes makes. Like she always says, like, I never had to come out as being black, but it's you know there's that daily moment where you feel like, do I have to come out today? Do I have to come out at 12 o'clock? Where that conversation always seems to weave its way into your life.
Yep.
And I read somewhere that you basically came out in a blog. Like you wrote a blog and you came out. And I'm curious, what was the decision that led you to use a blog basically to basically come out?
First of all, you got me okay, right? Everything
Yes.
good? Okay,
Yes,
good.
we're good.
I just got back home and it just everything's out of sorts. I don't know if my wireless is working right, but I'm glad you
Yeah,
could
you're
hear me
good.
okay. That decision was it was tough. It was an odd decision. I think as maybe it's my life as a deadline writer growing up or going through the business at first, like I kind of waited to the last minute to sort of announce it to everyone. And it was literally 2 weeks before I was going to get married. And so it was probably the best way for me to just get everything that I wanted to say out and just kind of casually distribute it. I would just have my friends who had already known for a while, just kind of distribute the blog and see where that went. And I think part of the reasoning was, as a writer, it's just probably my easiest outlet, the best way for me to get those emotions out. It was very difficult, though. It was probably the toughest thing I ever wrote. I deleted and started over and deleted and started over probably like a dozen times. And it was one of those, it felt pretty like an easy decision in terms of how to do it. And, I didn't really know what to expect afterward, but it was, it was basically that. Like I wanted to be able to write everything out and see, how people responded to it.
Right. I'm curious so the moments even leading up to I'm going to write this, did you feel like that did you have any like apprehension about doing it? Did you think maybe, let me just put it off for a second? Or did you feel like I just have to just jump into it and do it?
No, I put it off enough. I was, I think 31, maybe 35. Actually, I can't remember. Okay. I'm thinking, I was 35. And, I just put it off long enough. I had already been in a relationship for a while. My friends and family had already known. And it was just one of those situations where I had been sort of fearful for long enough. And my partner at the time, my ex-husband, he was somebody who was out when he was 11 years old. And that concept to me just kind of blew my mind. Wow, and it just kind of made me feel a little bit of a coward, to be honest, going through through my life and just hiding it, like you mentioned. And so I think it wasn't really sort of apprehension. There wasn't really any feeling of I didn't want to do this or hold back or just hide a little longer. It was just I wanted to get it out the right way. And I think one of the things that because it took me so long to do it, it's it made me feel like I needed to explain even further. And so that's why I just kind of had to rewrite and try it all over. And the funny part is like looking back is it's such a huge moment. It's an ending and everything else freeing, but it's not like you stop like learning or growing or adjusting from there. And so like I would probably say a million different things now than I did then. But I think for the most part, I feel like I did okay. And I think the responses were pretty decent.
Okay. Do you feel like you had, like, I know when I talk to friends who like came out later, and when I say later, I mean like the 40s, that there's a second type of adolescence that
yeah, absolutely. And it's funny because I think it wasn't for me. It wasn't that second adolescence when it came to me coming out, because like I said, it was, I'd met, my partner. I'd been with him for years at the time, ended up marrying him. So it wasn't like I was just, this wild and crazy person. But after my divorce, it's a different story, because then it's the first time I've ever been a single out person. But I'm not even talking about like, just like personal things. I'm just talking about like just experiencing everything. I'm not talking about like relationships. I'm talking about everything. Right. And so when my life is going great, it's going great, and all of a sudden everything comes crashing down because my marriage falls apart, it makes me question everything else that I'd done. Was I making all the right decisions? Should I have been a little bit, loosened up the collar a little bit, when I was younger, and stop, worrying about, my sexuality and all that stuff. And I think for the most part, it was, sorry, I just lost train of thought because I was about to go somewhere else. Okay. But it was a time where I just felt like I needed to sort of unwind a little bit. And I did. And I did for like, I sort of celebrated my 40th birthday as I was like a 21-year-old. And I think, you sort of get that out of your system a little bit, and you just sort of pile that on to the experiences. And now you just realize, I've got a little bit more of a full life. And so, there's also the concept of like, me not having any kids, and me like, people my age having kids, and that's, you know, there's kind of like a disconnect in terms of like social experiences and stuff. So, you know, I probably hang out with people that are a little younger than me, and that, you know, sort of gives me that same sort of adolescence all over again feeling. So it's a lot. It's just so many factors and so many layers to all of it at this point. But to your point, absolutely. For me, it just happened a little bit after the coming out. It was more like when I was finally sort of alone and just kind of, you know, had myself to my thoughts.
It's interesting because like my wife and I kind of we like try to experience like what we used to do. I mean, I have an 8-year-old, so you know, when you're mom every day, all day. And there was a point where we had friends who, you know, were having these parties and, you know, in Brooklyn and in Manhattan, and, you know, moms, we're in bed at a certain time. We
Right.
both work in education. So, you know, we're up early. So we just decided, okay, this is our night. And, you know, so you go out, all the things, and you realize that all of a sudden we didn't have the speed anymore. We just didn't have the endurance. Like we couldn't keep up with like the childless people. You know, we were at a state where we, you know, you had a couple of too many, and we literally called 8 Ubers.
Yeah, you gotta like ease yourself into it at this point.
Right. There are just certain things that you forget when you become a parent, and but it's a lifestyle change. And you know, whereas I have friends that don't have children, that want children, and is that we love our daughter, but we also remember what the days used to be. You know, it's that fine line. You know, it's a fine line, and also because, you know, we're a same-sex couple, it's the fine line with the questions and the looks and, you know, all the different things that come with that. So very interesting. It's funny because I was talking to someone, and we were talking about like new age media and all the things that technology has brought us and stuff like that. And it's interesting because I wanted to ask you, as you know, you're a public person, people know you, they love you, but I also know that the internet can be an alternate universe. People, you know, for good, take it for what it is, good, bad, indifferent. There are a lot, and I'm just, it's like, how do you handle social situations on the internet? If you post something, the sometimes responses are great, and you know as well as I know sometimes, like, how do you maintain that wall where you'll tip your toe into maybe Twitter, but obviously you didn't swim in it?
Yeah, it's funny because just overall I've backed off, and it's not so much about the conversation as much as it's just about I'm just not a fan of Twitter anymore. It's just kind of gone off the rails. But you know, even if it's in the Instagram comments or if it's on, you know, anywhere else, it's, I don't know, you just kind of look for whether or not you feel like you can help, because there's some folks that you just feel like are beyond reach. And I always try to just, you know, have an impact on anybody that looks like they can handle it, or they can maybe absorb some information and not be so defensive. And I think, you know, social media is could be an awful place, but I think for the most part, you know, I'd rather just sort of distribute information and not really have a back and forth on those settings, because it's just, they never end up good. You know, you know, whether or not, you know, there's somebody out there that is listening, as soon as they, you know, put their phone down or turn off their computer, they're still surrounded by those same people who are telling them the opposite things. And it's just, it's hard to really make a full 180 on some folks. So I try to just be sort of let my life speak for itself. And just, if people want to, you know, generalize and say all these terrible things about, you know, LGBTQ community and who we are, I just sort of present myself as somebody who, what can you say about me that, you know, is a negative, or has to do with, you know, my sexuality or how that's affecting me in any way. I'm still out here thriving. I'm still, you know, not letting things affect me too much. I'm still sharing with people. I'm still helping, others sort of find connection points and recognize that, we're a lot more similar than we are different. And I think, there's no space for that in those little, social media exchanges. There's no space for that level of nuance or understanding. And so honestly, I think it's just, I've been a lot happier not getting involved. And there was actually the other day, I think I posted, the NFL did a sort of mini doc on the league that I play in, the NGFFL, the National Gay Flag Football League. And, somebody in the comments said, is there a dislike button or an unlike button? And it's just like, first of all, about a 10-year-old joke. Second of all, I responded, and it was just, I responded with something, just snarky, not really, you didn't really catch me at a great moment. And I actually regretted it. And I went back and I just deleted it because it's not going to help. Yeah. It's not. And so, I think all of that, the more you can just find different ways to have those conversations is better, because it's just not healthy over there.
No, I agree. But I want to touch on the word thriving. So I feel like that's like the perfect word to segue to your podcast even recently, that everybody's talking about it. It's 4 years of heat. I want you just to tell us a little bit about it, where they can find it.
Well, you can find it anywhere you find podcasts. Apple, Spotify, whatever. Okay. Just a little background on how it I got approached to see if I wanted to do that. And I'd never even thought about doing a podcast of that form, or a series, or whatever you want to call it, documentary style. But obviously, those 4 years are, 4 of the most memorable years of my professional life. And, obviously being from here and having lived through it, it seemed like such an obvious yes. And so I was a little nervous, because I was like, I don't really know what this takes. But once I got, a handle on who we're talking to, and just sort of reached out to some people and got some interviews done, it seemed just like writing a story, And so a couple of things I was nervous about was my voice that regularly heard and throughout every episode, and whether people would be okay with that. But I've heard, some decent reviews on that. And, I just so thankful for all the people that joined me to do it, because telling the story of the Miami Heat from 2010 to 2014, not only one of the best, NBA teams of all time, one of the most intriguing teams of all time, LeBron James, arguably the greatest player of all time, winning 2 championships there and learning how to win. All that stuff is just, going back and revisiting it was just so much fun. And, when you I listened to every episode at least 3 times, even in just the drafts and finalizing. And I would still get some goosebumps every once in a while when I would hear, Eric Reed or Mike Breen or whatever. And so, it's a lot of fun, and I'm really proud of it. I ended up going into it not knowing what it was going to be like, but now not only am I proud of the product, but it feels like, it's going to live forever. 30 years from now, somebody wants to go back and listen to a podcast about, that team, they can find it pretty easily. So, I'm pretty happy about it, and I'm glad you guys liked it.
So I got to ask a question. What's your favorite that came out of the 8 episodes? If you could pick one moment, what would be your favorite moment?
Honestly, just because of the alternate universe that would have, the craziness that would have happened, just that one little nugget that Tim Reynolds mentioned about, Game 6 with Greg Popovich having an illegal substitution after the Ray Allen shot and the review. And if Tony Parker would have hit that shot to the Spurs, to send the Spurs celebrating, that the Heat would have then protested the game, probably in all likelihood would have come back 2 nights later and had to replay those 5 seconds, get all the champagne off the Spurs. And it was an insane, little note. And even though it wasn't something that happened, it's just something that could have happened. That to me really sticks out. But man, there's a lot of great moments in that pod though.
So having gone through that era, and now you see the new iteration of this team moving forward, because the one name that's on everybody's mind had Dame. What do you think that looks like if the Heat were to get him?
I mean, it really depends on if you have to give up, certain pieces. Obviously, Tyler would be a piece there, but if Portland is somehow willing to take more of a picks package and some expirings package, it could be a heck of a look. If it's not, then I think the idea of just having the three of Bam, Jimmy, and Dame, like, I don't know what the rest of the roster would look like, but I think that's a pretty good place to start a team, especially in the Eastern Conference. So I think that would be, especially given what they just came off of, and Eric Spoelstra being probably the best coach in the league, I think that would look pretty scary. It'd be like an Eastern Conference favorite for sure.
We're all rooting for it. Hopefully something will come up. Looks like we got 2 weeks to sit on this, so it's going to be.
As long as Dame wants to take your time, Dame, whatever you need, we'll be waiting.
Izzy will drive to Portland, pick you up. This is how we do things around here. We class service all the way. I don't want to keep you too much longer, but I just want to say I appreciate you coming on. You've actually been on every show, which is, for me, I love it. I'm a big fan of yours. Yes, I'm taking my time to gush all over you. I know you.
It's all good.
Huge
You're my.
fan.
I love you, Tiff, and I just only wish that my internet would have gone out while Will was singing Destiny's Child. I did not want to hear that.
Oh, well, there will be replays, just so you know. There will be replays. But thank you so much. Appreciate you. And listen, anytime, come on, promote. Let us know what you're working on. We'd love to know more about it.
For sure. Thank you.
All right.
All right, that was awesome.
He's fantastic.
Awesome job, Tiff. That was
I
fantastic.
love him.
You're the Black
special.
Barbara Walters, baby.
Oh, hey. Hey,
One thing I want
buddy.
to say about that interview that I loved was that you and Izzy are the two people that have encouraged me most in my life to be a better ally. And I'm not making that up. The two people in my life that have made me and encouraged me and made me want to be a better ally. Izzy's, that article, that blog that Izzy wrote made me look back, and this is something that's very hard for me to say, made me look back at my own tweets, my own comments, and things and words that I have used in the past and be extremely ashamed of myself, right? And sometimes, and those are the things like what Izzy did, those are the kind of things that sometimes we need to slap us in the face and make us realize, like, we ain't as highfalutin as we think we are sometimes. Like, we're not as woke as we think we are. Our brains aren't on a level that we think we are because we're using some antiquated and some hurtful language. So, and between Izzy, yourself, like I said, two people in my life that have most made me,
Thank you, Al.
I'm out here all day with it. You know what I mean? So, and I'm learning and I'm trying to be better every day. And I know I just jumped on, which is why I just want to talk about the fact that we're working with TransSocial, because this is something we're learning more. I'm learning more and more about every day, because I'm a 42-year-old man, right? Some stuff passes me by from time to time, right? But like working with TransSocial it's an important group. It's an important message, and I feel like it's the scapegoat du jour for a certain side of the country, and we just got to make sure that as allies we're doing everything we possibly can to make sure we support those people, those kids, and everybody in that community. So I just want to say that real quick. I'm late as shit, so let's go to our next segment. Brass, I believe it's live on the floor. I'm trying to read the show sheet. Okay, we're going to live on the floor.
Alex.
Wait, Ethan's here? I thought it was off the clock.
Ethan.
No, you're back on the clock. You're back.
Gianni, what the hell was that? That's not the usual.
Produce the podcast, Alex. Don't we have one show? I think.
Wait, was that a new error screen for Giancarlo?
Well, Gianni, right?
He's on some next level shit tonight with this computer, man.
Next level fucking up tonight.
You went from like a broken camera to a ninja star. Anyway, what the hell is going on?
Wait, by the way, we've raised $1,072 so
far.
All right,
let's go.
Awesome.
I know Ethan put them $2 in.
$1.89, $1.89.
Took it from the super chats.
The super chat, you can take a certain percentage. Recognize that. Hold on a second. My daughter's flashing a microphone on my face. What do we got? I'll be out in a second.
She's trying to help you.
I'll be out in a second. I'm
working on the interview skill.
Trying to donate $3. One up you.
All right, well, Ethan, you know what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go to you first.
Okay.
Because it's live on the floor. You have partnered with us this year. We're simulcasting on the 5 Reasons YouTube channel. Why was it important for you? We have some idiots in the chat saying this isn't about basketball. Like, did you read the title? Did you know what you were signing up for? Come on. But why was this important for you to partner with MHB this year on the Pride Show? We do it every year. It's been a huge success. This year, we're partnering with 5 Reasons. Why was this important to you?
Because I believe in equality. I mean, and I believe that people should be treated a certain way, no matter who they love, who they are. And obviously, we live in a state that is incredibly oppressive right now. I don't want to get too political right now, but to me, the word woke means you give a shit. And I'm tired of about other people, and I'm tired of it being cast as a pejorative because we've got Pocket Hitler up in Tallahassee right now. So
that's to get political.
Although he couldn't fit in a pocket because he's gotten a little pudgy. But I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. But honestly, I know we're going to talk basketball, but I want to say something. I honestly kind of wish I'd had a moment with Israel, but I probably wouldn't have said it to him if he was here. I don't know if everybody knows, how far back Israel and I go. But I think when he was 21 years old, he came to the Palm Beach Post. So he was about 5 years younger than me. And we spent a lot of time in the cafeteria at the Palm Beach Post talking about sports and coverage. And then we spent a lot of time together outside. Whenever we went out, all the girls wanted him. He didn't seem to want them back. So I sort of had a clue. My ex-girlfriend at the time didn't. I was like, no, I think so. And but I just want to say this because I probably wouldn't say this directly to him. People know Israel was in my wedding. We did a short-lived radio show together, which Alf had a lot to do with starting. But I just want to say I'm enormously fucking proud of him. And it has nothing to do with Around the Horn or any of the stuff that he's done or the great podcast that he's done. But I know how difficult this was for him. I was one of those who was honored enough to get a chance to look at the essay before he released it at the time. And, I knew prior to him releasing it. And I just know in the sports world how difficult it is to come out like that, particularly when you have a profile that he did. And I can tell you, as someone who's had to deal with a lot of the social media type stuff and to kind of, find a way to, hold your tongue and just kind of move on. I know how challenging that can be. And for him, the way that he's handled it and just continued to kind of move forward, grow his career, treat people the right way. He's been there for me numerous times. And I just want to say I love him like a brother I always have. And like I said, enormously proud of him, although I would never say that to his face. And I didn't even say happy birthday to him on the group chat with 10 people because I hate group chats, but belated happy birthday as well. So this was important for us to do. I don't care if people in the chat don't like it. I don't care if people tune us out. It's about more than that. It's about treating people the right way, giving people dignity. And I think that's something that's been lost, particularly in the past, I'd say 10 years, and particularly in this state, in certain parts of it. And so it's something that we wanted to do tonight. So I'm glad that we could do it. So that's where I'm at.
Thank you so much, Ethan. We will get to basketball. It's hard to get to basketball. We've got so much stuff going on.
I don't want to talk about Dame. Can we not?
Yeah, let's not do that. Please.
Talk about it. I've been off Twitter for like 2 weeks. That's not like what else am I going to talk about? Are they going to re-sign Strus? I don't care. I'm sorry, Tiffany.
Hey,
wow. Hey.
Show, you're gonna... Hey.
Damn. But listen,
Here he
I'm
go.
going to interrupt live on the floor because we have an extra special guest, more special than Ethan and Alex. Another great partner another great partner with MHB on the Pride Show every year. Let's go ahead and bring in our special guest. Hey, it's Roy Bellamy from the Avatar Show.
Roy.
Hey, how you guys doing? Hey, what's going on?
Hey, Roy.
Hey,
wearing a Heat shirt and a Heat hat and a Panther shirt on
Damn right.
on brand.
Thank you.
And the Ted Lasso Believe sign in the back. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Roy, just like every year, Roy, every year we do this Pride Show, and every year the Lebitard Show, the shipping container, you guys come through every single year for us. I hit up Chris Cody. He says, "Let me ask the guys," and comes back within like a minute and a half. Yeah, we're down. Tour the studio. We'll take them out to lunch. Last year, we went to Top Golf. Roy actually taught me how to swing a golf club because I had no idea what I was doing. Unsurprisingly, athletic endeavors are not my forte. But Roy taught me how to swing a golf club. Roy, tell us why being involved in the Pride Show every year, doing the fundraiser. I think you guys have raised. I might be wrong, but between the two experiences, you guys have raised over $10,000 with the Miami Heat beat over the two different experiences you guys have given away. It's always our highest bid. It's always our highest bid on item in the fundraiser. Tell us why you guys are always down to be involved.
Well, for me personally, like as a black man, it would not look good if I didn't, defend my other minorities, maligned groups, that's why we celebrate Pride. So, just think about this. Like in this state of Florida, like they're trying to ban books. They're trying to ban books that talks about the LGBT plus community. That just thinking about this makes me angry, really. So like it would behoove me to just help out in some way, especially because Miami, we had a couple of guests who are pretty famous in the drag scene down here. We want to get those stories on here because we don't need what's happening in the state to continue. So if we can help in any way, then that's what we can do.
And Roy, tell us a little bit about the Lebitard Show experience. Like I said, we've done it a few years in a row. So right now, it's up for bid. What do we have it up for bid on? eBay? What is that?
Nice. Looks like eBay.
So,
it looks like eBay.
Yes, that's
eBay. That's what it is. So we have it up for bid right now. We've reached thousands of dollars on this thing. Tell everyone a little bit about what they get to experience. With the tour of the studio and meeting everybody.
Well, the good thing is this year we are in a new studio, so you don't have to go to the Clevelander anymore. So
I missed that. That, Roy.
I don't miss that. I don't miss that at all. So
that garage, man. I like the garage. I don't know what you guys are complaining about. A little pee smell. It smells like South Beach. I'm alive.
Yeah, well, I'm glad I don't have to smell South Beach anymore. Yeah, that's very happy about that. But yeah, you tour the studio, you get to hang out with us, you get to have lunch with us, and hopefully we can do Top Golf again. That was a lot of fun. I get to see that swing again from you, Alf. That'd be excellent.
Yeah, honestly, I made Charles Barkley look like Tiger Woods. It was ridiculous.
Is that the Top Golf that almost got the Celtics back together and for a rousing Eastern Conference Finals victory?
It might be. It definitely might be.
Man, so close.
And you know what else? And I shouldn't announce it because it might not happen. I've been pushing Cody to do let's do a Marlins game.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah, so I know it's a long commitment, from the time where you guys are recording Mystery Crate to a Marlins game, but listen, I think it will get even more bids, and so I'm pushing Cody, but he's on a cruise, of course, because Chris Cody is always on a cruise.
Yeah, Chris Cody and Billy Gill are always on a cruise. They are boat people for some strange reason. I'm not a boat person because I don't want to get trapped down the sea and on that petri dish of a sardine can. So no.
Wait, Roy, is it Carnival that Mickey will pay the tax or no?
I don't think so. I don't believe it. As much
It's
money
going
as he
to
has.
Alaska. Mickey don't have enough gas to get to Alaska now.
That's a lot of diesel.
Mickey got to stop in San Francisco get gas. Carnival's struggling a little bit. Roy, we're not going to keep you too much longer. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for what you guys have done every year for the MHB Pride Show. Like I said, I believe I got to go back and look. I think it's over $10,000 between the two different experiences. This one's going to be just as great. It's always a lot of fun, man. Like Chris Cody the last one, Chris Cody just shoved the guy into the room while you're actually recording the Levitard show, not Mystery Crate. And we just got like shoved into the shipping container, which if you've never seen the shipping container, it feels like that submersible those people died in. Like it's like 40 people, and you're like this, laughing at Mike Ryan's jokes. Listen, it's
a lot different this time. Alf. It's a lot different this time. It's not as small as it used to be. So
not as intimate.
Not as intimate. No,
I'm gonna miss
thank
it.
God.
But anyway,
Do
thank
what
you
these
so
guys
much,
do today.
Roy. Thank you
guys.
for jumping on, and
Appreciate you.
we'll catch you on the show, and we'll catch you. I usually take the Lebertard show experience as an excuse to go visit the studio, so I will be accompanying whoever wins the fundraiser, whether they
And
like
guess
it or
who
not.
else coming? And guess who else coming,
Tiffany
Roy?
You coming, Tiffany?
Guess
You
who coming, Roy? Yes.
Damn right. Damn right.
Ethan, guess who
We
coming?
might be bringing
Bring them all.
We might be bringing everybody. Shit.
Bring them all. I don't think I've been to South Beach in 10 years, so I don't have to go to South Beach now, right?
No, you're just going to get through the flood waters of downtown Miami.
I don't usually leave Broward unless I have to. But that's
Did you say you had boat people on the show? We can get there. It'll be fine.
Yeah, a couple of canoes and some kayaks that we can use there.
And boat people mean something different in Broward County, where we're from, Roy. You can't just throw boat people out.
Yeah. Usually those types of boats capsize on the Atlantic Ocean.
Oh no!
Oh, you'll get in trouble. Oh,
Yeah.
gosh. All right, Roy. Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys always supporting us, and we'll catch you soon.
Thank you, Roy.
Thanks, Roy.
Go Panthers. What am I supposed to be talking about now?
So Ethan, Dame, we get number one, buddy.
I'll refer you to the last 13 episodes of 5 on the Floor, which we change it every day. My hunch is yes, ultimately, but I think they're going to bleed every asset.
It's over
along the way. I know. Well, I put it on playback yesterday. He put his highlights on playback and jinxed the whole thing. But the closest I've come to kind of an answer about what happened yesterday was that Dame wants to leave, but he doesn't want to gut the Blazers on the way out the door. And so don't do that. Don't do the Dame to Miami confirmed by Miami. The
aggregate that
aggregators are out there.
motherfucker.
Even if I control some of them now, it's not going to work. I just think that he doesn't want to gut them on the way out. So even if it means that the team he goes to ends up losing an asset or two that he could have played with, it seems like he would prefer that. So I feel like that he's going to play along. He knows that the Portland front office needs to play along with him. And the Heat are prepared to wait this out. So that report that came out today by Barry did the front office no favors about the stretching and all the rest of this. Greg is in a conniption right now. I think he's under the bed right now. He's so pissed. But I don't think the Heat are actually going to stretch Lowry. I think they're going to wait this thing out, and I think ultimately they will get Dame, but it's going to take a little bit longer here. I just think
that report was bullshit.
Which one? The stretch?
We're not waving and stretching Lowry like it is. It's like it would be complete malpractice.
Finances, Alf. I don't think any of the reports are potentially bullshit. I think there is I think there is the possibility that if they strike out on Dame, then the backup option is okay. Let's just try to save some money. It wouldn't stun me, but I do think that they're going to do everything they can to get in on Dame. And honestly, what this may end up happening is it may end up costing them someone like a Caleb Martin that it may not have ultimately cost them before.
Bye.
If Dame was just going. I know, I understand it, but I'm saying that's what this ultimately may come down to is, in addition to Hero, probably go somewhere else. Lowry, one of the two most recent first round picks, some pick swaps. You may end up losing Caleb in the deal here, and if that happens, it happens. I mean, they don't want it to happen, but I know Portland values him, so it's definitely possible.
All right. I'm gonna go to Alex on this one. So this is what drives me crazy every time these things come up, right? And I'm gonna lose it, and this is why I've stayed off Twitter for the most part. I just get angry by myself in my room. I've seen the tweets. People like, you can't give up Caleb. Yes, you fucking can. What are you talking about? It's Damian Lillard. What do you mean you can't give up? You can't give up Caleb Martin? Caleb Martin. There's another fucking Martin out there. There's another one. Like,
Literally.
This is a rare case. This is another one of these motherfuckers out there. Like, listen, I like Caleb Martin. I love Caleb Martin. If Caleb Martin, if I could adopt him, I would. But like, I don't understand, Alex. Like, there are guys that are replaceable, and they're just Damian fucking Lillard, right? Honestly, I would pack everyone's bags, not named Jimmy and Bam, and send them off to fucking Portland for Damian Lillard. I do not get it, Alex.
I mean, that's just the most obvious take in the world. Like, what are we talking about here? It's Caleb Martin.
You would think.
I like Caleb Martin. I really do. Like, I don't want him to go anywhere. I don't know why you would put me on the screen right now. I'm gonna. It's the most obvious thing in the world. Like, you got to do what you got to do for Damian Lillard, and now it's just about taking part in the misery business that is everybody trying to share in the engagements of tweeting about Damian Lillard, whether it's NBA Central, Barry Jackson, Brian Windhorst. Everybody is sharing in the news, sharing in the engagement. And man, I just wish this shit would end already. Like, it's just dragging so much. I wish we would know and find out one way or the other, because I'm already sick of talking about it.
We did hit those download numbers, Alex. It could
no, never mind. I hope it goes on for another month. Never mind.
But I got a topic for your pod, Ethan. How about, like, can we talk about NBA friendships and like what that really means? Because like you have like LeBron and Wade and they're close buddies, and then Bron was like dragging his feet until it was too late, and then all of a sudden he goes back to Cleveland and kind of screws us. And you're like, come on, you do this to your best friend. Dame wants to come to Miami. He's like, hey, if I go anywhere, it's gonna be Miami. Bam's my dog. And then Bam, what is Bam doing in this scenario? Is Bam just sitting back? Is he going like, Dame, like, are we fucking doing this, or like?
I know. I think he's recruiting him, but it's just I don't think Bam's the type.
You just leave him on red.
I mean, yeah, kind of. Look, I think it's this. I think Dame is seriously concerned about his legacy, but it's not the legacy of winning championships. It's the legacy of how he's going to be remembered in Portland, and that seems to be guiding everything here. And I think that the fear for Heat fans is that Portland does just enough to thread the needle for him that he's like, okay, I can compete. That's the concern. Okay. But I don't think there's anything they can actually do for him to do that. He made the conference finals one time. We said this last night. Like, okay, so what would they do? Go trade for CJ McCollum? Like, they traded his best friend.
They had him at home already.
Right. I mean, they traded his best friend.
They're going to get Draymond's old ass. Like,
and he said that he would not come here if the Heat won, and we specifically did not win. It's the reason we lost was because we wanted Dame.
That's why Cody
Now,
played. That was
why would
his
they
whole
do
plan
that?
to get Dame
Right.
here.
Why would Jimmy
Bold
throw the
play.
ball away?
Now, why would they do that?
Why would he do that?
Why would Jimmy what else? I'm sorry.
Throw the ball away.
Why?
At the end of the fourth quarter.
Why would
Exactly.
they lose?
Oh man.
Exactly. Was to get Dame. No, I mean, isn't it funny though that we're at this point where like the fact that nobody respected the Heat the entire year actually plays in their favor now because they're not too stacked. Right? It's like, okay, Dame can come here because Jimmy and Bam really aren't that good. That's the perception of them. Like, it's not a real big three. Even though I actually think this is a better fitting big three. I'm not gonna say it's better, but it's a better fitting big three than the one that came together in 2010 because LeBron and Dwayne had to work all that shit out, top of the floor, all that kind of stuff. This thing fits perfectly. To me, this fits as well as the Boston big three with Garnett, Allen, and Pierce. I think it'll work from the very beginning, but I don't think the perception
Have we seen Jimmy and Bam completely work themselves out? Have we seen Jimmy and Bam completely work their spatial differences out?
No, not necessarily offensively, but this is going to get Alex going because I know we've debated this one, right? Like whether or not the Jimmy and Bam thing works. I just think Dame helps the Jimmy and Bam thing work. Yeah. I think Dame's presence, Jimmy can go back to doing what he wants to do instead of what he has felt forced to do. And also, it takes the pressure off Bam offense. Look, Dame would lead them in scoring by far and would take a lot of those shots. And they could protect him defensively. So I just think it's perfect. And I think ultimately it is going to happen, but I think that they're going to drag this thing out a little longer.
And so this is the thing, right? So they can drag it out. That's great. That's fine. They can trade for him, not trade for him. That's cool too. Whatever. I just want Dame and Chris Haynes to understand that if you're gonna update us on something every day, at least say something different one time.
Right.
What? Preach.
Yeah, there hasn't been a whole lot of creativity from them lately. Again, Chris.
They just use different words every time.
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows their relationship, and that relationship was honestly that propelled Haynes in the first place. Haynes got the gig in Cleveland to cover LeBron because of his coverage of Dame in Portland. So that's where all of this came from. And that's totally true. They're gonna be mad at Bam for not taking our shots. That's exactly what's happening.
I don't care. Still will. Yep.
But I think the fact that everybody knows Haynes is kind of the mouthpiece at this point, like he's being a little bit more careful about what he says, and I think Dame's being a little bit more careful about what he tells him at this stage. But eventually, I think he's going to go in and say, "Look, re-signing Jeremy Grant and going to Getway is not enough, and Portland's going to make bad decisions here and probably end up losing him anyway." Is the most likely outcome. It's better for them if they just deal him now before they do anything else and just build around their young core.
Yeah.
And realistically, they've had so many years to do that. That's the whole reason we're at this point now. So I just don't really know what he's expecting at this point.
We're at
they
this
traded
point
away like the helpful players.
Listen, we're at this point because Dame is at this point. Like,
yeah,
he doesn't want to leave. Like, you're gonna be at this point until he leaves. Like, Portland has shown you who they are. Still believe them.
He a battered wife.
Right. Oh, if I make these if I make this a little better, if I put a little less salt, Portland will love me and get me what I need.
He told me he wanted cheddar cheese, and I used American. That's
right.
my fault.
I told him. I told them I needed a star next to me, and they brought me Jeremy Grant. Like,
I wasn't specific enough.
But I love them. I love them with all my heart. This is what we doing. This is everything. This is it.
He loved me. He just don't know how to show it.
Right. It's a battered relationship.
I wanted the center from Denver, and they got Nurkic. I guess it's fine.
Hey, Lou, I can make him better.
At least he thought about me. It's the intention.
Right. He passed. He does pass it.
I wanted to put Josh Grant, and they got me Jeremy Grant. I wasn't specific enough.
Right. They're tall and black.
They got me Harvey Grant.
I just right. He didn't even bring goggles.
I should have read his mind and knew he wanted goggles.
Exactly. But Ethan, you think we getting him?
Hey, the way I'd ask the question is, what's the percentage chance Damian Lillard is a Miami Heat by the start of the 2020?
Don't do it because they gonna drag. They're all looking at 2 weeks from now.
Before he finishes that statement, it will be on Twitter.
I know. No, like I said, I think ultimately they get him. They're confident they're getting him, but as I said on the pod the other night, they were also confident LeBron was staying in 2014. So I don't necessarily trust their reconnaissance on some of this stuff anymore. But they think they're going to get him, and the national media guys that I speak to all think they're going to get him. And I think, and I've said this too, like, to me, he has cover. Because there is nobody out there who's saying he should stay. Like there's nobody who's saying he's going to be disloyal by leaving. Like if everybody from like the carnival barkers like Jason McIntyre, the big lead, to Nick Wright, to the former players like Richard Jefferson, to Zach Lowe, they've all said the same thing. They've all said it's time. It's time. Well, it's time for both parties to separate. And so he can go if he wants to, but it just seems like he wants the statue out there. He wants, and you know, and look, he's like the only Portland star who didn't get hurt. Okay, like it's like he's the one. He's so.
Even Clyde didn't get hurt.
Clyde didn't win there either.
Clyde left.
Clyde got to a finals. Clyde got to a finals.
Dame got to a Western Conference Finals, but he did get to a
Matter
finals.
of fact, Clyde won.
He left. He's got the cover.
But he won with the Rockets. He won with the Rockets.
I thought Clyde had a cul-de-sac at 23
Portland
years
people
old.
still count that.
Portland.
They did.
Yeah, I think he has every excuse now to leave. It's the KG situation to me all over again.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody looks back at KG now and says he shouldn't have left Minnesota. Okay.
Question.
Hmm?
So he mentioned Miami and Brooklyn, right? Brian Goins kind of floated it. Brian Goins kind of floated it in the Hebe chat that like the idea of going to Brooklyn seems less super teamy, less like it doesn't look like I'm stacking up with, you know, is that something that potentially feels better to someone like a Dame who knows he needs help but doesn't quite want to be with a super team, thinks he can make some pieces work?
I mean, potentially, and then there's also the New York market, which Dame will be a huge star in that market. He's already got commercials even without it. He got, you know, he got Modelo out in Portland. I don't even know they drink Modelo in Portland. So I do think that there could be some, but I also think if you look at Brooklyn's situation, I mean, if he wants to win now, like I mean, they're going to have to. I mean, if they gut the team of picks, then they don't. I don't understand where the winning comes in, except that the East is, you know, look, the East with Miami or Brooklyn's an easier pass than the West right now. Most of the talent's going back out West again. But I don't know. If I look at it, he's not going to win big when there's just Mikal Bridges and one other piece up there. And I do think that, as I said, I think the fact that nobody looks as Miami as a legitimate contender, it's still perceived as a fluke. I think that helps the Heat get him. I do. I think that he looks
the fact
at
that the Heat finished with the 8th seed is helping them now, as opposed to them like repeating that first seed season.
Yes, I don't think most people view them as the Eastern Conference champions. I think they view them as a team that kind of came out of the play-in. I mean,
the Heat were light years ahead with that one.
I think it's brilliant on the Heat's part to finish 8th overall. I mean,
Why would they do that?
Kyle helped them get there.
I feel you.
I did
like,
that.
What I don't understand about the Brooklyn thing, right, is the idea of the New York market. This
team's gonna suck.
It's gonna be a bad team. I don't, maybe not bad, maybe a middling team. Like
they're gonna be a Brooklyn Nets playoff team. They get out in the second round.
They're gonna be the same Portland Trailblazers.
They'll be a little bit.
Portland East.
They won't be as good as the best Portland Trailblazers team he's ever been on.
Right.
If he comes to Miami, that'll be the best team he's ever. Those will be the best players he's ever played with. Right, as far as Jimmy Butler and Bam in his prime.
Yeah, I would agree.
Who knows? Maybe even a Caleb Martin, for God's sake, might still be here. Shit. But like playing in Brooklyn in that New York market for a guy like Damian Lillard, does he even need that for his profile? Like Brooklyn, like playing in Brooklyn didn't do anything as far as for KD or James Harden or Kyrie Irving as far as their profile is concerned. I just don't think it matters in today's NBA anymore.
Do we
think Dame takes into account like the last 2 times that the Brooklyn Nets have tried to build quote unquote super teams with all stars? Like it's a complete abomination every time.
Yeah, I mean Garnett and Pierce, that whole thing.
But he said he doesn't want a super team, Alex. He doesn't want a super team.
I mean, he wants a puncher's chance, but that's not what's going to happen in Brooklyn. I can guarantee you that. They're not making a conference finals.
How did it work out for KD? How did it work out for KD? He left Golden State where he would have kept on winning championship after championship.
He let his ego get in the way of that.
Now he's
okay, but like, how different is this, really? I mean, if he's going to leave, if he's going to break from the loyalty streak that he's been on for so long, and he's going to go to a team that's still not going to win, what the hell is it for? What was it for? You win, you win. That's it. It's as simple as that. Like, I don't care what metrics you use to judge championships. A ring is a ring is a ring. Okay, like in the grand scheme of things,
people do look at KD's rings a little bit funky, right? I think if he had won 2.
Yeah, but Alf, this is not the same as KD's ring because KD joined a team that had won a championship. He did not.
It's not the same. Yeah,
73-9 versus a playing team is nowhere near the same.
Yeah. Who the
Yeah, but
player
you gotta look at like who are those people bitching about those KD rings? Who are those people that are giving no weight to those KD rings? There are gonna be some like LeBron. There's gonna be some under. There's something going on under there. Yeah, there's a fandom that's speaking loudly under their skin in there. So like I just get out of here. Like go win. You're tired of not winning? Go someplace where you can win and you play with your dog, as you say. Like this is it. This is the time to do it. Dame, come on.
Miami threads the needle for him. It is the perfect situation. They're good, but they didn't just win a title. They have two players who will fit well with him, but people don't perceive them as an elite big two, even though they've been to 2 finals in 4 years and were within a shot of another one. He plays for an elite coach, which honestly he's never done because Terry Stotts is not that, and neither is Chauncey Billups. It is a perfect situation. Add in the no state tax, add in the easier path in the East. It's perfect for him. Like and he gets perceived as being the missing piece from them not winning a championship from last year. There is no reason for him not to want to do this, except for the fact that I think he's just trying to freshen up his image on the way out of Portland, make sure that he gets the statue and all the rest of that. And look, the Heat can send him back to Portland in 2 years like Dwayne with him back to Miami. Great. Get your 2 rings and then go back, like at the very end of his career, okay? The Heat can stretch him, okay? 2 years, okay? Or whatever they're going to do now with Kyle Lowry. But to me, this is the perfect situation for him. It's where he should be, and it's why the Heat are going all in. Because honestly, guys, I don't see another out there. You know, we talked about Durant and Mitchell last year. There is no, I mean, we're going to wait 3 years on Luka. Like, there is no other guy out there at this stage.
You know what's funny about that with Dame and getting credit? You know, the one guy who I would think might be a little bit iffy about it would be Jimmy. Because if they win with Dame, everyone's gonna be like, damn, they're gonna be like, damn, Jimmy, Dame had to drag you across the finish line. You couldn't do it without Dame. But I think Jimmy's ego isn't such. I think he doesn't care. I think Jimmy would be happy scoring 14 points a game.
I think he would be happy dragging a bunch of
and Dame needs Jimmy just as much as Jimmy needs Dame.
Yes.
Like
there you go. The narrative is going to be. You know what it's going to be.
We know the narratives, but let's not act like, because here's the difference. Yeah. We've seen me drag the bones of Christmas past to the finals.
Right.
Correct.
Dame might listen. I don't even know. I don't even know if Dame
one ankle on one ankle.
Right, like I don't even know if Dame got ABC. We don't even know if he's watching the finals. So we gotta let's stop acting like, you know, he's gonna come in and just take completely over. No.
Well, nobody took
not us.
Nobody said exactly. LeBron needed Wade. They gave the credit to LeBron at that stage, right?
I mean, I know the truth.
Yeah, those are like the two. Those are like the two most competitive players.
Yeah,
and known in the league. Like they want to win. One is loyal. Like Damian and Jimmy, like those two guys want to win. At the end of the day, you play to win the game, and they haven't done that. They haven't acquired. I feel like Jimmy would have no issue with Dame coming here. If not, he wouldn't have posted.
Trust me, he has no issue. I can tell you.
He posted his song a day after the. He wants
to listening to that bullshit.
No issue.
Hey, hold up now. Hold up.
Nah, don't do that, Lou.
No, let's not do that, Lou.
Come on, let's not. He's not watching, Lou. He's not watching.
Hey, he's good. He's good enough to rap in Miami. Come on, bring him in.
Oh yeah,
we got. Maybach music.
I never heard one song.
Bucket Bros time was on the level of
Maybach music.
I think. I mean, we're losing the better musician than Victor Oladipo if it happens. So you know,
how many guys do you know in South Florida that tried to be rappers? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even. That wasn't a shot at Alpha. I promise.
Wow.
Oh, and on that note, thank Alf. That's it right there. On that note,
thank you, Ethan and Alex. That note, live on the floor, you know.
Canby's in the chat.
Hangover time.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Thanks, Ethan.
I can't believe Alex. I was nice back in the day.
You out here like Shaq? He was out here like that.
Oh, rapping about Shazam.
A biological didn't bother. Check out some joints. Don't get me wrong. Can't stop the rain with Biggie.
You can't stop the rain with some heat. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, Alf went from spitting bars
damn, don't
to
got
at
it.
the
You
bar
can't stop the rain.
and drinking at the bar.
All right, we had a guest that was
All
supposed
right.
to be here tonight, but wasn't able to due to scheduling reasons. However, they did send us a little video, so we're gonna go to him.
Hey, what's up, Miami Heat Beat? Want to shout you guys out for your Pride show tonight in honor of Pride Month here for the LGBTQ plus community. And of course, for those in the LGBTQ plus community, I want to make sure that you know that we are supporting you and loving you all the time, not just in June, but every single day. Much love.
Hey,
Thank
George.
you, George.
Much love to our boy Sadano. Thank you for
Let
coming.
me just say, those are the perfect glasses to wear when you're saying a nice thing. It just makes sense.
Someone said I look like a Haitian ice cube, which
You mean the one that used to make gangster rap?
Tiff, you want to announce our next guest?
Movies?
You
Yes.
want to announce our next guest, Tiff?
Yeah.
Are we there yet?
I'm just picturing an outfit like brown sandals.
Either they don't know, or they don't care
All right,
about
we
what's
got-
going on in the hood. I could have did it.
Yo, we got our next guest is a really good friend of mine, Cam, who has done work with the Heat, and also you hear his music when you watch pre-gaming and also when you watch Mixed Bag. Bring him in, Brass.
That was Moose.
Hey,
What up?
Hey.
You guys are characters, man. I've been watching this show for a minute. Like, yeah, you guys are characters. Wow. Happy to be here. What's going on?
Thanks for coming.
Alf.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Alf, what?
You the host. I threw you the Kyle Lowry.
Yeah, and that went right in the fucking first row.
Tiffany is in the third row.
You doing the Duncan Robinson? What the hell are you thinking?
You threw the Tyler Hero to UD.
What's going on, Cam? Thank you for being here. Thank you for.
Yes, man.
This is your first time. I think is this your first time on?
Yes.
Yeah.
Canceled appearances. Thank you for coming through.
course, man.
I guess for this special edition of Hebe, kind of just tell us what Pride means to you personally, and why was it important for you to come on and hop on the show with Tiff?
I mean, Tiff first moved to New York City maybe 15 years ago, and she welcomed me into the apartment. I found this apartment on Craigslist, and she's like, "Yeah, that's your room over there. You can come check that out. Yeah, that's cool." And so I look around. I'm like, "Okay, this is cool." Meet the dog.
Ooh,
Coco.
got all
I'm
my
like, "Okay,
business
this
in the
all right."
street.
Yeah, and she's just like, "Are you cool? Are you gonna be all right?" And I'm just like, "I'm good, man. How you doing?" Yeah, and she's from then on, it was all set. So she was no bullshit right from the jump, and we got along just fine. So what's Pride mean to me? I mean, it's just so many different friend groups, and just being proud of who your friends are, being proud of being a part of a family, and supporting your friends, and just being there. I mean, it's just being there and showing up for your friends, showing up for the people you love and care about, and really just I think somebody earlier said being woke is that you care and showing that you care, and so I would agree with that. Pride to me is just showing that you care and you give a shit. And so, and just really with the donations, you guys are doing great tonight. Putting your money where your mouth is with that, and then also just and getting out Pride Parade, getting out for marches, getting out for support, and giving opportunities to artists as well. I work with Wasserman as an agency. We do a lot of AT&T sports partnerships, and one of those is a big partnership with the Miami Heat. So it's kind of why I'm on to talk today, but also do run a record label. And so giving opportunities to artists and new artists. So, some of those artists from the Pride community, and just trying to get people's identities out there, get their kind of representation out there, and also just teach, just help people kind of give them the tools they need to succeed. So, Pride to me is that kind of support.
Tell us a little bit more about what you do with the Heat. for our audience is like, what? You work with the Heat? What's going on?
Yeah, so
Bam is the question.
I got to do a shoot, man. I got to do a shoot like in March with Bam and UD, going around the city. We got to go a few different neighborhoods and just filming and stuff. So this is from Instagram. This is kind of some previews that we've been doing, but was rolling these out with AT&T.
That was you?
Yeah, we were just going around, man. We were just going around with these guys. It was awesome. And it's for this. What you're seeing there is at the stadium. It's at the arena out on the East Plaza, and that's it's called Connected Canvas. We made we fed in all this photography that we went out and shot around Miami, different neighborhoods, and then fed that into some different algorithms and different AI art models like Stable Diffusion, and then created original artworks for each neighborhood of the city. And so that's kind of what you're seeing there. But doing that stuff, and then also doing some kind of data analysis with the Heat, kind of mapping, we did like a heat map, basically showing the scoring throughout different games, kind of showing up the different colors of like a heat map. So playing around with those things, and we got some new stuff cooking for this coming season. Including a more long form. We got a lot of footage with Bam and UD around everywhere, like Little Havana to downtown to out by the art museums, talking to Bam about his art collection and stuff, talking to UD about growing up Miami Senior High and just different stories from that. And so, I was like, oh shit, I could share some of this content. I got this stuff. I was like, oh wait, that doesn't belong to me. It's part of my job. Oh shit. And so soon come. But I'm on the creative team for AT&T and Wasserman, and working with Miami Heat. And
so are you already working with Dame, or are they just hold on?
Well, they already brought him in, man. They briefed us. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a done deal. We just don't know it yet, and it's
that's what I figured.
It's on the deal. But
cool.
We got what was I gonna say? We got briefed the other day about the upcoming City Edition jerseys, and all I can say is just that it's for the fans. It's all for the fans, and they did a nice job kind of switching it up and zeroing
Good brass.
They got
Cam, I gotta ask. So UD's a jokester. How was he with you? Because I can't. I mean, I've seen him in the locker room. Alpha and I have both had the privilege of being Tiff as well and Bond. We've kind of seen how UD can be in a locker room. Did he fuck with you? What was he like? I want to know what he's like in these shoot. I've seen what he's like in the office. I want to see what's he like in those kind of promotional kind of settings.
Man, he's a pro. He's a total pro, and he also just we're walking down the street in Little Havana, and we're just like, okay, yeah, we're just gonna grab some shots of you strolling and stuff, and talking about the community, talking about going to high school around here because he went to Miami Senior High by there. So let's talk about that a little bit. He's like, nah, I want to go get some coffee. Let's go get some coffee. Rolls in, starts grinding a coffee machine in what's it called, Colada Cafe, and right on. Right there and right next to Tower Theater. And he's just doing this stuff. He's chatting up all the fans in there. Somebody's like, hey, you're a basketball player, right? He's like, I don't have time for this. If you can't recognize me, come on. And he's like,
there's no way they know who he is there. That's Kenny, you're laughing because no way those people know who he is.
Yeah, anybody they saw tall black dudes you play basketball. They didn't know who was Udonis Haslem.
They're like, hey, Jimmy Butler. Hey, what's happening?
Jimmy goes to play dominoes.
The white way, LeBron.
Check.
Wow. So I don't know if you guys know, but Cam is the one that got me the Max Strus video.
Yeah. Tiff
Wait,
was
which
like,
one?
if you could. It's a happy birthday. I think it's a happy birthday one, right?
Yeah. The one where he's saying, "What's up?" Cam was doing something with Max, and so I was like, "Who you with?" He told me, and I was like, "Oh, I gotta get something. I'm leaving here with something."
I'm leaving with
Cam,
something.
did you ever see the imaging we made for Tiff's segment on here?
I might have. She might have shared it to me,
Tiff's
but you gotta show me.
Tiff's treats. Yeah, let's show that.
Yeah,
let's show that.
yeah.
I just wanna be used, I don't wanna be loved. Baby, don't you wanna be used, or is it just me? Yeah.
Max, I know, saw that. I was like, wow.
I just lost another button too.
Oh man, yeah, Max was really nice. Caleb was really chill. He was super laid back. He's a nice guy. So, yeah, I mean, all these dudes. I don't know. I was watching. I was just like, season's kind of going down the shitter. Okay. Oh wow, we're in the play-in. Okay, cool. And then, I mean, I don't know about you guys. Shocked as you guys that they went through and did what they did out there. So,
have you been around Gabe at all?
no, Gabe Vincent, man. No, Caleb, Max, Bam, and UD, and yeah, no.
Have you been around Duncan?
Oh, come on, face that she was giving.
I wish I could bring Ira in so we can go. Have you been around Yurt?
You know, G wants to know. Wait, let G ask. G, you could ask him if he was around Buns.
Hey, Cam.
No buns. No buns.
Why are you whispering?
No Kyle. Yo, I'm telling you, man. I'm sick and tired of fucking Barry Jackson and the organization throwing my guy out. I know we started the show. I just haven't gone over it all day. If they wave and stretch Kyle Lowry, I will be picketing at the arena.
You muted yourself again.
You muted yourself.
So hilarious.
You
Just let him roll with the music.
Let him go.
We're vibing
You
off
muted
this.
himself and started screaming aloud like it would help.
I love anime and I hate my buttons.
Oh my god.
What's?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Navas, go back to us.
Does he know that he muted
I
himself
don't
that
think
whole
so.
time?
Absolutely.
Oh
not.
my
Gee,
god. Gee,
You're muted.
you're muted, buddy.
Press the mute button.
Still muted, bud.
He's still talking. He doesn't know.
Man.
So
Bad.
we had to see G's chest and no rant. That is just that payoff.
Oh,
Moose
Anyway.
said G's the same color as his shirt, man. It deserved this. It deserved this.
He doesn't see his muted mic. Like there's a muted mic, but whatever. We'll keep
G
moving
said,
along.
Yes.
I just want to be used. I don't want to be loved.
Don't want to be heard.
Oh my god. Also, that song. Really quickly, introduce that song, your label, the artist.
Yeah, that was Roseheart. He's a Brooklyn artist. He's also in some HBO shows, got stuff cooking up on Broadway. He's doing some cool things, but we used to be putting out like 8 records a year, but that was in my 20s, and now in my 30s, it's a lot. So that, as the work with AT&T and the Heat, we're also doing a lot of WNBA All-Star stuff. We got that coming up in Vegas in a couple weeks, and then NBA All-Star in February. So as that stuff picks up, the label stuff, I'm like, I don't know if I have as much time for this, but it's still fun, still helps some new artists, and that's Roseheart that you hear at the start of Tiff's segment.
Do you represent any swing bands by chance?
Oh yeah, electro swing. That's our the new
okay.
wave,
All right.
man. That's the new wave.
Non-electro swing band, if you're interested.
Oh,
anyway,
I'll connect you two. I'll connect you.
Any 42-year-old overweight Haitian rappers from.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Good line, Alf.
We're a niche group. It's a niche subgenre, but we're here. We're out here. Making music about mortgages and back pain and shit.
Stuff that's relatable.
Yeah, real good shit. All right, thank you so much, Cam, for all that.
I got a
awesome.
guitar.
No doubt, man. Thanks for having me on. All right, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Cam.
Appreciate the music too that you've been able to help provide to the show. You've been
course,
awesome
man.
over the course of time. And if we get Dame, maybe we'll keep doing Hangover Time. Anyway.
Oh.
Wait,
what? Later, Cam.
Later, guys.
Later, Cam. Thank you.
Brad's made the face like, no, the fuck we not.
Can I report that right now? Barry follows me now. Can I report that?
Wait for the Chris
Haynes
Haynes
like,
report.
I'm not gonna do fucking Hangover.
Wait
Time.
for
I
the
don't care
Chris
who we
Haynes
get.
report, please.
If we had Beal and Dame, I might. Anyway, we do have some raffle winners, do we not?
We do.
Ugh.
G,
Sorry.
you wanna announce these? I've been asking for the donation leak, G, because I want to put that up.
Well,
Because people
what technological things, but listen, we've raised
All right.
$1,082.
All right.
All right.
And this donation link will be open for the rest of the month through July. So if you couldn't get the chance today, and if you're watching this on YouTube or you're watching the replay, remember we're taking donations until the end of July. And we also have the Le Batard Show auction that we talked about earlier. That's going to be up for, I believe, the next 5 days. So all this money is going to go to TransSocial, and as well as any Twitch subs that you guys donate tonight. Although you guys are pretty good about keeping it to the donation link. So thank you to everybody who donated, and I'm here to announce the winners. We had a lot, and I'm just so overwhelmed. So we'll start from the bottom. The 15, Brad, if you could get the slide for the $15 tier.
Yes.
Not putting you on the spot here, but we have a lot of tiers and a lot of prizes to give away. So the winner of this is the Leches Agenda Commissioner. So shout out to Leches.
Right.
Yeah, they're OG in chat. Hey, everybody who wins, make sure to shoot us a DM on Twitter or email us at heatbeatmiami@gmail.com with your information so that we can make sure that you get your stuff. The $30 tier, we have Crab Smut Peddler.
All right.
All right. Thank you for the support from the Deuces Podcast Network. Although I know they make more money, so they should have donated $300. But you know what? We'll give Dose and Crab a pass today.
They always have it first. They always have it first.
They always have it first. At the $40 tier, we have Tito Man is here. So congratulations to Tito Man is here. You win the Savage, Dior, and the Miami Heat mashup t-shirt. At the $75 tier, Will Manso.
Whoa! Whoa!
Shout out to Will Manso.
Whoa!
The Gucci Guilty perfume cologne. and
Will.
The Miami Heat. So shout out to Will, who also is gonna give me $20 to buy new camera equipment. At the $100 tier, we have Princess MHB. So shout out to Princess MHB in chat. You win the sunglasses.
Great name.
And yeah, great, fantastic name. What a lifer. And you win the Money Mouth. You win the Money Mouth hoodie. And the grand prize, the $120 tier, goes to the Basement Sports Network. Thank you so much to our friends at the Basement who are being very nice and supportive. I imagine that came from Royal Shepherd because I saw you in chat, Royal.
Thank you.
Shout
Shout out to Royal, friend who wins the Jimmy Butler jersey and the Versace cologne. I know Royal will be needing that Versace. I love you, Royal. And a bonus $50 gift card. Love you, man. Love you guys. Thank you so much to everybody.
Thank
who
you,
donated.
guys. Everybody.
Thank you to our winners.
Game jersey.
Leches, Crab, Tito, Will, Princess, and Royal or Basement in the Basement. So shout out to you guys. But yeah, man, what a night. I mean, and the final Hangover Time post-game show. This was fun. This was fun. We were in our bag tonight.
Even though I was late.
Most of us. I don't know about you.
I was not. My computer did not work. No.
We noticed.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Sorry, Jay. We've been doing double duty today with the Bleacher Report stream.
This is our fourth or third Pride show?
This is our
third.
It's our third Pride show. Unfortunately we started a year late, right? Because I know we've been doing 3 years of Hangover Time, so we've done a Pride show every year. This has probably been the most fun show of the year because we kind of go away from basketball. We just hang out as friends and we come together for like a really, really good cause. And Tiff, you really are the impetus. Why does Moose's dog look like Bob Ryan? Wow.
Damn, Melody catching strays there.
Schmeathan going out with a bag.
I kind of like I can't see it.
Schmeathan, honestly, the all-star of the chat over the last 3 years. My God. Thank you so much. If I ever meet you in real life, I need to buy you a drink or punch you in the face.
We still don't know who that is, right?
I don't want to.
Is that not you?
I don't want to know. The mystery's nice.
I actually think it's Ira Winderman. But anyway, this behind this every year.
Ira never told the joke.
Really quickly, because we're winding down here. What was why did you want to start this? Right? And, what has it meant to you? And what, and honestly, I will tell you what, we're going to keep doing this, whether Hangover Time is a thing or not. This is a Miami Heat beat thing. Mm-hmm. It is not a Hangover Time thing. And remember, even though Hangover Time is no more, Miami Heat Beat is not going anywhere. And this is a Miami Heat Beat thing, so we will continue to do this every year. But go, Tiff, why did you want to start doing this, and what has it meant, and why will you keep doing this?
I think for me personally, to work with homeless youth, LGBTQIA youth in the shelter, and it was a lot. It was draining, and you hear stories, you see things that sometimes you just can't come back from. And once I got out of that and I got into education, I kind of felt like I needed to do something. And I can drop off, donations and do those things. But, once, I met Alf, and then I came over here and I spoke to G about it, and I spoke to Alf, and you guys were like welcoming this to the platform. And it's honestly surprising because you never know who's going to be receptive to who you are as a person and what you stand for and what you want to do. And I just want to say that I appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate everyone in the chat. I appreciate everyone who's watched us for the last 3 years, watched us laugh, watched us fight, watched us drink. You've all become family. The jokes, the people that we've had to block, all these things that have happened the last 3 years. This is what it is. But I appreciate it, and it's something that people usually say they don't feel seen, and with amongst all you guys, I feel seen.
Well,
Take me out, Brass.
Time. I feel it too.
So before we sign off, you guys don't go nowhere. We don't end on sentimental speeches. Despite Tiffany touching our hearts a little bit, a little verklempt. We like to have fun. So we have a few more things for you. We would be remiss to go out without one of our most popular segments, the Miami Heat movie. So we have a brand new casting for y'all. Let's go ahead, Brass.
This is going to be really brief. We only have one. We only have one for this. And so for our draft pick this year, for the Heat Beat movie for Jaime Jaquez Jr., we have cast
It's not good.
Adam Driver.
Yes, so such an easy one.
Perfect.
Low-hanging
Brass,
fruit,
did you
but
Photoshop this, or is this
it's pretty solid.
That's
Actually,
actually-
I did a
that's actually
cameo
good.
and I got him to hold up a Heat jersey.
For 1 week.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
I just want to be part of the dark
Star Wars
side.
money ran out, I guess. So
Might be
that
in
was Heat movie.
He might be in the Fantastic Four soon.
I'm all about the culture.
So we also do have a special guest in honor of Pride Month. But before we go to them, Bon, I believe you had some words you wanted to say.
Oh no, I kind of I wanted to piggyback a little bit off of what Tiffany mentioned with regards to coming into a group of, cishet straight men and just feeling welcome and feeling able to speak freely. For the most part, we may or may not, think or feel the same ways with regards to like basketball or schematic things or shit like that. But like the overarching important themes of life, as a queer Black woman, I really, really want to drive home Tiffany's point of just feeling accepted and welcome and able to just step into this group fully formed and true and all that I am, all that Tiff is, and all that is important to us, and really having a group behind us who the things that matter to us matter to them too. And I give an incredible thanks to Tiffany for what she puts on every year for Pride Month. and just the work that she puts behind it, and then everyone else involved in Heat Beat falling in line and kind of, this is what we're doing. It's Ethan, 5 Reasons, Levitar, everyone who jumped, Izzy, Will, everyone who jumps into this, kind of no questions asked, and understanding the gravity of what this time means, who we are as people, the weight of all of the bullshit that's going on in Florida. And I just wanted 2 seconds to thank Tiffany. And I'm not about to censor too heavily a bunch of cishet straight men during the month, but your support is needed. More of your support, more Black male cishet straight support is needed. And we're all people. Let people be people. Love who you love, and just be a good fucking person, regardless of kind of who it is. And I'm thankful to be surrounded by what I feel are good people. And that's kind of all I wanted to say to that.
Bond, we love you. We love you, Tiff. We love you guys for who you are, because you love us for who we are, right? And that is what this is all about at the end of the day. Like, we just, it's I think I said it on one of the old shows. It's really just about love. Not about who you love or where you love or how you love. It's just about loving each other. And like you said, Bond, it is so easy to be a good person.
It's not that hard. It's harder to intentionally choose the wrong shit because you should have something just picking at you. Like, just
it takes more work to hate.
More work.
Who wants to work?
It's so easy to just be on the right side of history. Like, don't be a dick. How about that?
It ain't hard.
It's very simple. But yeah, and honestly, I don't think we've given enough props to Bond for all she's brought to not just Hangover Time and Miami Heat Beat, but to this show as well. Bond has, I think from the beginning, Bond's input on which charities we donated to have been absolutely integral. Tiff and Bond have worked together, and we followed your lead every single time, because as a bunch of straight dudes, right? And sometimes we don't know the right words to say, the right way to be an ally, and you guys have led us along the way every step of the way. And honestly, it's been amazing getting to know you guys. It's been transformative in my life. I will tell you, 10 years ago, I might not have been comfortable walking outside in a Pride shirt. I didn't think I was bigoted, or I didn't think I got nothing wrong with gay people. I said that kind of stuff, but I would not have walked outside with a Pride shirt. I take this motherfucker to Publix. I go wherever I need to go. I'm at the airport with it. Listen,
at the bakery with it, like
at the bakery.
Alf, we went to a brunch and a drag show broke out at the brunch, and I remember Alf turns to me and he goes, "Did you know this was happening?" I go, "No," and Alf goes, "Fuck it." He starts waving his hands up.
Yeah, we all heard that was a really fun brunch.
It was so fun.
It was a really good brunch.
Moose, it was so fun.
It was so fun, Moose.
Sorry, we didn't invite you.
Yeah, sorry, Moose.
It's wrong.
Yeah. But I looked at that brunch. I looked at what was going on around me in a completely different light than I probably would 5 to 10 years ago. And honestly, that is because of people like Tiff, people like Bond, people like Izzy, who have basically showed me where I was missing the mark. And this is one thing when it comes to pride, and when it comes to the people, and when it comes to love, we do also need to continue to give people grace as we all learn and try to do better. As long as somebody is trying to do better, we have to give them grace, right? It's hard, but we give people grace, and people can get better if you let them. Now, there's some people that want to get better, right?
Facts, correct.
And we just leave them to their hatred. Leave them alone. Don't, they've been in the chat tonight. They keep trying to break through because they're angry and there's something bothering them. And we just, nobody's talking back. We just shut them up, because tonight is about love. Tonight is about happiness. Tonight is about pride. But unfortunately, our next guest,
our final guest
in the history of Hangover Time. I don't know.
Why'd you have to put it like that, G?
It's been a weird. I don't know who scheduled it this way. Our final guest.
Up to schedule this guest.
Exactly.
I believe G booked this one.
I think somebody. I think we've said a lot about this person today, and I think we should question them. And listen, I'm not going to say thank you for coming on, but because it's their job to come on. But I think they have to answer some questions.
All right, so let's
brother.
Let's go ahead and bring him in, Brass.
Drip drop this guy.
Okay.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
no.
Oh my God.
This guy.
All right.
How's it going, everybody? I feel like the homophobic Thanos right now.
Snap your finger.
Okay.
We don't really want you here, Ron.
Ron, why was it? Go ahead. Sorry, Ron. You have something to say? Go ahead.
I just wanted to say that there have been a lot of lies been said about me in recent times, and I just want to say that I do not hate the genre of homosexual human beings. I do love them. I love Skittles. I love Nathan Lane. Okay, I actually have been going to a lot of drag brunches lately, so much that it's actually inspired me to create my own drag alter ego. So I'm now going by Roe v. Wade. Would be my name.
Oh no!
Nope.
That's quite enough.
And you know, like for me to be homophobic, how can I be homophobic? You know, I have a gay brother, and you know, I love him just as much as my normal brother. You know, so like, how could you look at me and say that? You know what I mean? But yeah, if there's any questions, we can do a Q&A right now, I guess, for you guys. So any questions, I will be happy to take them.
Why are you at Disney World?
I am at Disney World. We are protesting. They did a big pride parade. Didn't make any sense. You know, Goofy had assless chaps. There was Twinkerbell. I don't know what was going on over there. I don't know. That must be a new character. Also, the Country Bears, totally different than I thought the Country Bears were. Just a couple Southern gentlemen, very big guys. But you know, it is the happiest place on earth, I gotta say.
Ron,
how do you feel about the classic Disney ride Splash Mountain going through a theme change for people are saying are racial stereotypes that were in that old ride? How do you feel about that?
Now I want to answer that. But because of Pride, we are actually doing a different type of Splash Mountain this month. So it's a whole different ride. It's 18 and up. We're not letting any children on there. But
great draft.
Any questions? You know, I'm not here for a good time. You know, I'm here for a long time. I will be here until we end. So any questions, please?
Why are you running for president?
Why am I? Great question. All right, because there's never been a straight white man as president, and I'm trying to bring that back.
As president, how will you support the gay community?
Technical foul. Don't say gay. Don't say gay. You get 5 of those, and then you're out. You get past them.
She's already out.
Ron, what kind of legislation are you looking to pass in regards to drag shows?
Listen, lesbian nations aside, I just want to say I do love a good drag show if we're talking cars, okay? Real man stuff, all right? I don't know what's going on over here. You know what I mean? You got the Pillsbury Doughboys is they now. What's going on? and I do want to say this. You know, recent law has been put into place. I will say it's a little bit of a misunderstanding. I was talking on the phone with my associate, William, who was making some homophobic remarks, to which I said, "Hey, don't say gay, Bill." And then it became
okay. That'll be quite enough.
Again, any questions? You know what I mean?
Ron, are you bigoted because you're closeted?
Am I bigoted? Am I bead because I'm seed? That is a good question. Do we have any other questions?
Are you gay?